So our locomotive today, number 4382, was built by Baldwin in March of 1918 for the Chicago and Alton Railroad as the 862. The Baltimore and Ohio took over the Chicago and Alton in 1931 and renumbered it to the 4382. They also reclassified it from L3 to Q7. It was used to pull freight trains, ran between Chicago, Alton, St. Louis, and Kansas City there. Ultimately, in 1947, the Gulf, Mobile, and Ohio Railroad, which had just been formed as a merger between the Gulf, Mobile, and Northern, and the Mobile and Ohio Railroad, took over the Alton Route. They added their own GM&O on the side of it that kept the Alton Route slogan. And they used the locomotive until 1949, when the Alton, or the GM&O at that point, became the first major railroad in the country, certainly the first major one in the state of Tennessee, to replace steam locomotives with diesel locomotives. Now, everything that I have just told you is somewhat true and somewhat false, because in late 1950, the 4382 was cut up for scrap at Bloomington, Illinois. In reality, this is Southern Railway steam locomotive number 4501 here. A 4501 was built by Baldwin in 1911 for the Southern Railway. It was used in freight service on the Southern until 1948. It features a number of similarities to the 4382, such as the 63-inch driving wheels, similar tender, similar front end, and a few other things. But this locomotive was the first MS-class locomotive on the Southern Railway. The first locomotives also used superheated steam on the Southern, so the water is boiled here in the boiler by the coal. It burns 6 to 8 tons of coal a day here in the firebox. But then rather than just sending that steam straight to the cylinders, it then passes it back through, heats it up even more, makes it even more efficient, much more powerful. Earlier locomotives, such as our number 630, used saturated steam, but after the success of this locomotive with superheated steam, a number of them were rebuilt to use superheating. In 1948, the Southern Railway retired this locomotive. They were a few years behind the GM&O with replacing steam, not retiring their last steam engine until 1953. But this one thankfully was sold off 5 years beforehand to a small coal hauling railway out of Stern, Kentucky, the K&T, Kentucky and Tennessee, where this became number 12, the big engine. It was used on the K&T until 1963, when even they then decided they would replace it with a second-hand diesel locomotive. TVRM had just been founded 3 years beforehand. They scraped together $5,000 and sent the museum president to buy the locomotive. Well, he pulled out $5,000 of his own dollars and bought the locomotive for himself. They brought it here to Chattanooga, which was a Herculean effort. They had to travel on the main line, and Southern Railway wouldn't do that. But finally they relented and let it travel here under its own power. And people turned out by the thousands to see it. And Southern Railway saw that. They saw people turning out to see a Southern Railway steam engine. So with the success of that, they then launched a steam program to run the salvage steam excursions, and the 4501 rolled out painted green and gold as a Southern Railway passenger engine. And it operated on Southern Railway steam excursions with white wool tires, the green paint scheme, shiny silver front end, as a Southern Railway passenger engine, so to speak. The only one that was in the Smithsonian, and they would not let the Southern Railway have it back. It went to Mardi Gras in New Orleans. It pulled the circus train out of Baraboo, Wisconsin. Johnny Cash ran it in his Riding the Rails documentary. It went everywhere. As time wore on, the engine began to wear out, and it suffered some fairly serious mechanical issues. It was taken out of service in 1981. 3.5 years later, it was returned to operation. They replaced the original riveted tender with a welded puppy at that point, and it continued to operate off and on Norfolk Southern until 1994. It was repainted back to black in 1996, ran here until 1998. $1.8 million later, it was returned to operation in 2014, and we have been running it here at the museum and a few trips out on the main line in the early days ever since then. And once again,
I know, I'm done.
Hey, Justin, go swing it.
Thank you for watching a Layton's Trains production on YouTube.
Get him to swing
Please be sure to leave us a like, subscribe,
and
subscribe
Turn
to
the
our
light
other
on
social media.
while it does it.